Okay, so let's start with execution and service of sentence, no? Sa execution and service of sentence, no? Article 70, ang pinaka-important dyan, yung threefold rule, no? Which we will tackle later on. Before we do that, simulan muna natin yung Article 70, no? So as a general rule, no? When the culprit has to serve two or more penalties, he shall serve them simultaneously if the nature of the penalties will so permit. Ano example? Simultaneous po ang service ng civil interdiction at saka ng imprisonment. Yung accessory penalty at saka yung principal penalty, they can be served simultaneously. E di habang nasa loob ng kulungan, may civil interdiction. Yun ang general rule. No? If it's impossible to serve them simultaneously, the following rule shall be observed. So when is it impossible to serve them simultaneously? Pag dalawang imprisonment, example. No? Of course, di mo pwedeng pagsabayin yan. No? Kasi isa lang naman ang oras natin. So after mo ma-serve yung isang sentence, next sentence ka naman. You get the point. Okay? In the imposition of the penalties, the order of the respective severity shall be followed so that they may be executed successively or as nearly as may be possible should a pardon have been granted, blah, blah, blah. So, ibig sabihin, mauunang iserve yung pinaka the order of the respect shall be followed. Anyway, ang isa-serve dyan yung pinaka-grabe muna and then later on yung pinaka-light. Okay? Sige. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-important, no? Ito yung threefold rule, no? Notwithstanding the provisions of the rule, next proceeding, kung ano may nakasulat sa taas ng Article 70, no? The maximum duration of the convict sentence shall not be more than threefold the length of time corresponding to the most severe of the penalties imposed upon him. No other penalty to which he may be liable shall be inflicted after the sum total of those imposed equals the same maximum period. Tip ko lang sa inyo, di nyo na kailangan sabihin to sa answer nyo. Okay? Pag sa threefold rule, no need na tong second sentence na to. Focus on this one. Complete answer na yan. And of course, lastly, no, yung 40-year rule. The maximum period shall in no case exceed 40 years. Okay, so dalawa ang kailangan yung tingnan, no? Yung three-fold rule at saka yung 40-year rule. Anyway, later on, no, once masabi ko na lahat ng topics ng mga notes ko dito sa Article 70, no? Sasabihin ko sa inyo ang tip para di kayo maguluhan sa successive service of sentence. Kasi ang daming masyadong mga numero na kailangan tingnan, no? I-analyze. I will teach you, no, later on paano nating mapapadali ito. Okay. First, no? Does Article 70 apply to special penal laws? No. Okay? Unang-una, how can it apply to unless, no? Unless the special penal law adopts the nomenclature of revised penal code. Pero kung hindi, paano nating malalaman yung respective severity niyan? Di ba may under Article 70, mayroong baitang yan. Death, reclusion perpetua, reclusion temporal, and so on and so forth. Kung ang penalty under the special penal law is 5 years to 7 years, how can you do yung, di ba, yung order? Okay? Next, no? Perpetual penalties like reclusion perpetua, yan lang naman important ngayon yun lang naman, wala naman ng death ngayon, no? Sa revised penal code, perpetual penalties are considered under the threefold rule. Reclusion perpetua has an equivalent of 30 years under the threefold rule. Tandaan niyo yung 30-year period for Article 70 lang, no? Ang totoo po talagang period ng reclusion perpetua is 20 years and 1 day to 40 years. So yung 30-year period, para lang sa computation ng threefold rule, no? Paano kung apat na murder yung kaso, no? 30 ang bilang. So 30 times 4, 120 years, no? Hindi po siya 40 times 4. 40 times 4 is 160. Hindi po ganun. 120 lang dapat. 30 times 4. Yes. No? Ganun. Also, do not mix Article 70 and indeterminate sentence law. Okay? Do not mix them. Okay? Tandaan niyo yung indeterminate sentence law. Yun lang yung sa mga degrees, di ba? Of each sentence. Tandaan niyo ha, is law applies to each sentence. Yung Article 70 sa lahat po ng sentence combined. Okay, islaw, each sentence. O kung sabihin natin, murder yan, walang islaw kasi reclusion perpetua. Pag homicide, o pwedeng may islaw. Reclusion temporal, tapos yung yung next penalty, next lower sa degree, prison mayor, yun yung minimum term. Maximum term, reclusion temporal in its medium period, something like that. Ito total natin lahat ngayon under Article 70. And then we compute kung papasok ba sa threefold rule, 40 rule, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's go to threefold rule, no? The length of the sentence of the offender shall, in short, no? Para, kasi masyado tong ano, no? Masyado tong, ang hirap ng pagkakagawa ng sentence. Let's make it simpler. Okay? The length of the sentence shall not exceed threefold the length of time corresponding to the most severe penalty imposed. In Tagalog, yung sentensya o yung dapat tagal sa kulungan ng isang tao, ng isang offender, hindi pwedeng lumagpas sa 3 times, no? Nung sentensya dun sa most severe penalty. Ulit-ulit, mas maikse. Yung total na sentence nitong tao na to, hindi pwedeng lumagpas sa times 3 nung pinaka-severe na penalty that was imposed upon him, the offender. In short, the sentence shall not be more than the most severe penalty imposed times 3. Okay? Cannot be more than the most severe penalty times 3. Okay. Most severe of the penalties imposed. No? This includes equal penalties. They are equally severe. So, lahat sila most severe. Kung lahat yung reclusion temporal, lahat homicide, 5 counts of homicide, 5. No? 5 most severe. So, yung isa dyan, yun yung most severe. So, kung lahat ng yan, sabihin natin, 15 years. 15 years yung magiging, ano mo, number, times 3. Ganun, o times 4. 4 na counts pala to. Times 4, so that's 60 years. So, 15 times 3, 45. May 40 rule. 40 lang. So, dapat, by the way, sa example ko din, 40 years lang dapat ang magiging sentensya ng tao. Ang magiging service of sentence ng tao na yun, under the successive service of sentence, Article 70. Hindi po 15 times 4, kasi 4 counts. Hindi po 15 times 3 kasi 45 years yun. 40 lang. Anyway, babalikan natin ulit mamaya yan. Okay. The provision states penalty imposed. Nakalagay naman po dyan, di ba? Imposed, no, upon him. What does it mean? How do we differentiate imposed upon him and prescribed by the law? Okay? In the bar question or in the exams, no? Sa exam nyo, sa law school, no? The question would provide the exact period of penalty that was imposed or periods would provide, mali pala tong period, would provide the exact periods of penalties imposed. Okay? Hindi po limited yung magiging, tanong sa inyo, hindi magiging limited sa penalties prescribed by the law. No? So kung homicide, hindi lang po sasabihin na reclusion temporal, whatever. In its medium period, hindi po ganyan. No? O reclusion temporal lang per se. Hindi ganun. Sasabihin po dyan, 15 years of reclusion temporal and so on. That's how it would be shown. No? And then it's up to you to compute yung period. No? So, since it is imposed, of course, hindi naman nasabihin sa exam nyo, no? Pero para mabigyan lang kayo ng full context. Since imposed upon him po yung salita under the law, the mitigating and aggravating circumstances would be considered by the court kasi sa imposition eh. So, ifa-factor in na lahat ng mga modifying whatever. By the way, ulitin natin dito pala sa Islaw, no? Sa Islaw, kailangan nyo lang dyan yung mga maximum term, minimum term. For the purposes of Article 70, ang i-compute nyo dyan yung maximum. Di ba? Kung medyo nagugulang kayo sa Islaw, interplay niya sa Article 70. Ang times po under Article 70 yung maximum. Maximum term. Hayaan nyo na yung minimum term. Kalimutan nyo na yun for purposes of Article 70. Okay, next tayo. The threefold rule applies only when the convict has to serve at least 4 sentences. So, dapat 4 counts of homicide, 4 counts of physical injuries, and so on. The reason is if there are only 3 sentences, the total of the 3 sentences will always be equal to or less than the threefold rule. Malamang times 3 yun eh. O, sabihin natin, tatlong 15 years na homicide, tatlong counts. O di same lang din, 15 times 3, 45. Di ba? Eh 15 plus 15 plus 15, 45 din. So why would you apply the threefold rule? Di ba hindi kailangan? Anyway, 40 years yun, no? Kasi nga, 40 rule naman na mag-a-apply. Anyway, doon muna tayo, no? Sabihin natin, gawin natin 15, 14, 14. Oh, 15 plus 14 plus 14, that's only 43 years. Pero 15 times 3, 45. So, hindi rin po magiging applicable yung threefold rule kasi yung sum o yung total, pag pinag-plus mo lang yung 15, 14, 14, mas maliit yun kumpara sa threefold rule. Eh, ang purpose nga po ng threefold rule is para guminhawa kahit papaano yung service of sentence, hindi na ganun kahaba. No? Kasi mabubulok na siya sa bilangguan. Aba, eh kung 15, 14, 14, mas maliit siya sa 15 times 3, eh di doon na lang ako sa addition, hindi na ako sa multiplication. Diba? So, there can be no instance na pag 3 sentences lang, i-apply niyo yung threefold rule. That can never happen. At least for dapat 15, 15, 15, 15. O, 60 years yan. Pero pag 15 times 3 lang under the threefold rule, 45 lang. O, may advantage kayo yung threefold rule over the total of the 4 counts. No, baka lang, no? Baka pwede mo nang i-apply tong threefold rule. Pero hindi nga pwedeng i-apply din kasi 40 rule ang mag-a-apply. O sabihin natin, 13 times 4. Yan, maganda. O, 13 times 13 years. Each count ng homicide. O, 13, 13, 13, 13. Yun yung penalty imposed. 13 times 4, ilan? That is 52. O, 13 times 3, that's 39. Saan ka pupunta ngayon? Doon ka sa 39. You apply the threefold rule kasi mas maliit yung threefold rule pag pinag-times mo yung 13 times 3 kumpara sa 13, 13, 13, 13 na ito-total mo lahat. O, hindi rin po applicable yung 40 rule kasi 39 years lang. O, di nag-apply yung threefold rule. See? See? Okay. So, mamaya, babalikan natin ulit to sa huli, no? Okay. So, you get the point. Nilagay ko na rito, no? So, even if, next tayo, no? Even if there are 4 sentences imposed, no? The threefold rule may still not apply, no? If the total of the penalties imposed, no, is less than the most severe penalty times 3. O, di ba? Why? Sabihin natin ganito. Isang homicide, dalawang slight physical. Isang homicide, dalawang slight. Isang homicide, dalawang slight. So, 15, 10 days, 10 days. Tatlong slight physical. 15, 10, 10, 15 years, 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. Yun. So, 4 counts. 15 years, 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. Pag pinag-plus ko yan, yung tatlo, apat. 15 days in 1 month lang. 15 months, 15 years and 30 days. Or 1 month, no? Well, wag natin sabihin 1 month kasi days yung binigay, no? So, let's stick to the days. Oh. Pag tinotal mo yung apat na counts na yun, that's just 15 years and 30 days. Eh, pag ginamit ko yung threefold rule, that would be 45 years. Hindi pa nga pwede yun kasi nga mapa-40 rule. So, mag-a-apply by 40 rule? Hindi din. Why? Kasi that would be bigger than pag pinag-total ko na lang lahat. Mag-a-apply by 30 rule? Malamang hindi din kasi that would be bigger pag in-apply ko yung threefold rule kumpara sa pagpaplasin ko na lang lahat. So even if there are 4 sentences imposed, the threefold rule may still not apply if the total of the penalties is imposed is less than the most severe penalty times 3. No? Same thing tayo sa 40 rule. No? 15 in 30 days or 40 years or 45. 15 years ka na lang in 30 days. Okay? So let's make let's make an example. Let's show an illustration where the threefold rule applies, no? A is sentenced to serve 10 counts of slight physical injuries. Okay? For each count, the court sentenced him to suffer the penalty of imprisonment of 15 days. 15 times 10, ilan yun? Pag tinotal mo, 150 days. Diba? Pero pag 15 times 3, hindi rin mag-a-apply yung 40-year rule kasi di naman aabot ng years, di ba? Days lang naman ang pinag-uusapan natin. Months lang to, di abot ng isang taon yung 150 days. No? So, wala yung 40-year rule. No? I-apply ba natin yung threefold rule? Yes. Kasi 15 times 3 is only 45 days, while 15 times 10, kasi 10 counts, is 150 days. E dito na lang tayo sa 45 days using the threefold rule. Okay, so applying the threefold rule, the convict sentence shall not be more than threefold the length, no, of the maximum of the time corresponding to the most severe of the penalties. Shall not be more than threefold the length of time corresponding to the most severe of the penalties. Hence, he must serve a maximum duration of 45 days. It cannot be 150 days. Okay? You get the point, no? Let's go to 40-year rule. Such maximum period shall in no case exceed 40 years. So this rule shall apply even if the threefold rule does not apply. Unang-una. Example, conviction for 3 counts of murder. O pag 3 counts ang murder, hindi po applicable yung threefold rule. As I said. Kasi nga, there can never be an instance na magiging beneficial ang threefold rule kung 3 counts lang ang sentence. Okay. Pero ang 40 rule, pwede pa din. As this is an example. No? Yung offender, 3 counts of, na-convict siya for 3 counts of murder. So pag pinag-plus mo yung tatlo na yun, 90 years yun. 30, 30, 30. Okay, talagpas na tayo. De 40 na lang, 40 years. Hindi po 90 years ang isa-serve ng tao. No? Now, if the threefold rule applies, then the 40-year rule shall still apply. Apply natin siya hand in hand. No? Titingnan mo yung total, pag-plusin mo yung lahat, just like what I did earlier. Tingnan mo yung threefold, tingnan mo yung 40. Okay? Example, no? A is convicted of 4 counts of rape. Punishable by reclusion perpetua. So, as provided by the last paragraph of Article 70, the duration of perpetual penalties like reclusion perpetua shall be computed at 30 years. So, tingnan natin. 4 times 30, 120. 4 times 3, ay 4 times 30, 120. No? 30 times 3, 90. So, pareho siyang sobra, no? Pag tinota lang natin, 120 ang lalabas. Kapag nag-threefold rule tayo, 90 ang lalabas. So, saan ka papasok ngayon? Sa 40 rule. Diba? The maximum duration of his sentence shall be 40 years. He must be released after his 40th year in prison. No? Okay. All the penalties, even if by different courts and at different times, cannot exceed threefold the most threefold the most severe of the penalties imposed upon him. Okay? Kahit na iba-ibang courts pa yan. Sabihin nga natin, ano siya, pumatay ng tao, nung nasa loob ng bilibid, pumatay ulit ng tao. Hahatulan siya ngayon. Sabihin natin, pumatay ng 2 tao sa labas. Nung nasa loob, pumatay ulit ng 2 tao. So, 2 counts of homicide sa labas, 2 counts of homicide sa loob. Oh, sabihin natin, na-convict siya by final judgment for the first 2 counts sa labas, no? Tapos, 39 years na siya sa bilangguan. And then, nahatulan siya ulit for another 2 counts. No? 39th year niya. No? Tanong, attorney, on the 40th year, natapos yung 40th year, kailangan na ba siyang pakawalan? Or dapat tuloy-tuloy ang serbisyo niya ng sentence dun sa bagong dalawa niyang kinamit na homicide sa loob ng bilibid? What's the answer? Dapat na po siyang pakawalan. Okay? All the penalties, even if by different courts and at different times. As example, pumatay ng tao sa loob ng bilibid, later on nahatulan habang nasa loob pa siya ng bilibid. We cannot exceed the threefold, the most severe. So, ibig sabihin, for the 2 counts na homicide sa loob ng bilibid, na conviction by final judgment, 1 taon na lang yung isa-serve yun. Well, mali yun. No? Basta, hindi pala, that's not the correct wording. Basta kahit na nagkaroon pa siya ng dalawang extra crimes sa loob ng bilibid at na-convict siya for that, hanggang 40 years lang po siya. Okay. Iba usapan, pag halimbawa, nakawala na siya, pumatay siya ulit. Pumatay ng dalawang tao, nakulong for 40 years, okay? Pinakawalan, pumatay ulit ng tao. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na naka 40 years na ako, hindi na ako pwedeng bumalik. That's wrong. Magsimula ka ulit back to zero. Why? Kasi hindi na po siya successive in nature. Nagkaroon na ng break between the two periods. It's not successive. It's not one after the other. One, nagkaroon ng break, and then the other. Hindi na po mag-a-apply yung Article 70. Okay? Nalagay ko na rin dito, so just read, no? Okay, we get the point, no? Subsidiary penalty forms part of the penalty. Why? Kasi subsidiary imprisonment nga ulit, as we tackled earlier, is a principal penalty. Anyways, we're good there. Same thing din po ang habitual delinquency. Sa habitual delinquency, may additional imprisonment. Isasali mo siya sa 40-year period. Okay? Let's simplify the total of the sentences versus threefold rule versus 40 rule. So, unang-una, there are three factors you must check. No? Anyway, so total, tandaan nyo, total threefold 40-year rule. No? There are three factors you must check. First factor, check whether the question has 3 sentences or 4 sentences. Ibig ko sabihin dito, hindi sentence ng salita, hindi sentence, question, hindi ganun. Sentence sa offender. Check whether the question has 3 sentences against the offender para mas malino. Or 4 sentences against the offender. Yan. If there are 3 sentences, no, then total the sentences. O ulit-ulit, pag tatlo lang po ang sentence, never pong mag-a-apply yung threefold rule. So may dalawang rule lang na mag-a-apply o may dalawa lang na kailangan mo tingnan. You just compare the total of the sentences and the 40-year rule. Ang sagot mo doon, what's the lower number? Compare nyo yung dalawang number, yung total at saka yung 40-year rule. Pag mas mababa ang 40 kumpara doon sa total ng tatlong sentence na to, you stick to the 40. No? Pag tinotal mo yung tatlo, no? Tapos mas mababa yung total nila kumpara sa 40 years, we go dun sa total. Gawin natin ng dalawang example. O, unang-una, 3 sentences. Tatlong counts of murder ulit. The total niyan, 1 ay 90. 3 times 30 is 90. O, ano mas mataas? 90 years o 40 years? 90 ang mas mataas. Therefore, ang total lang po na magiging imprisonment, no, nitong si offender is 40 years. Okay? Paano naman pag tatlong counts po yan ng slight physical injuries, 15 days each? 45 days lang yan total. Ano mas mababa? 45 days o 40 years? 45 days. So, ang magiging sentence lang yan, 45 days. See the difference? Yun lang yan. Now, if there are 4 sentences, mas mahirap. 4 counts of murder and so on. How would you do that? If there are 4 sentences, una muna, kunin mo yung total ng 4. After mong kunin yung 4, kunin mo yung threefold rule. No? Yung most severe, i-times mo sa 3. Kung ano yung pinakamataas na penalty dito sa 4 na counts na yun, 4 na sentences. Kunin mo yun. Lastly, 40 years. Kung ano yung pinakamababa sa 3 na yan, that's your answer. Okay, 4 counts of murder is 30 times for 120. Oh. 30 times 3 is 90 under the threefold rule. And then the last number is 40 years. Ano pinakamababa? 40. So ang total, ang maximum period of imprisonment nitong si offender is only 40 years. Oh, ulit-ulit. 4 sentences of slight physical injuries, 15 days each. I-total mo. 15, 15, 15, 15. That's 60 days. Oh. Next. 15 times 3. That's 45 days. And then 40 years. Sa tatlo na yan, ano pinakamababa? Yung 15 times 3. So, mag-a-apply po yung threefold rule. 45 days lang ang magiging total term of o yung magiging kanyang term of imprisonment under Article 70. See how easy it is? You just need to compute three numbers. Don't clog your head. While you're computing, wag mo munang i-compare yung one rule sa other. Just get the three variables. Once you do that, that's the time when you compare. Ano, pinakamababa, that's the term of imprisonment. Okay, we get the point. In-apply ko pa rito, pero you get the point, no? Probation law tayo. Okay? Sa probation, may dalawa lang na important dito, no? Yung una, yung appeal, no? Itong appeal, nilagay ko na rito, pero yung appeal na to sa probation, this is usually asked sa criminal procedure. No? Criminal procedure siya sa remedial law. Pero pwede na rin natin itakal sa criminal law para hindi tayo nagkapabaya din, no? Yun ang isang important dyan. At saka who are disqualified to avail the benefits of probation. No? Yan ang dalawang important talagang principles for probation law. Okay, no? So what is material? What is material is the penalty imposed by the court, not the penalty prescribed by the law for the crime. So tandaan nyo ang probation, nasa execution side na yan. Okay, so we don't care about the penalty prescribed anymore. Ang tinitingnan natin dyan, ano ba yung inimpose na sentence ng court? No? Yan ang tinitingnan natin. 15 years, 20 years, whatever. Ganun na itsura niyan. By the way, di ko nailagay ko naman pala dito, no? Probation law applies to RPC, crimes under the RPC, and crimes under special penal law. So, same thing po siya sa indeterminate sentence law na it applies to either, no? Either crimes, whether special penal laws or RPC, no? Okay, no? Tandaan nyo, hindi penalty prescribed, penalty imposed by the court. So, pag makikita nyo sa exam nyo yan, specific yung time, specific yung number of years, no? Makikita nyo sa exam, sa question. Okay, let's move on to the next, no? Ito, itakil na rin natin, section 4, medyo pang criminal procedure, pero itakil na natin sa criminal law din. No? As a general rule, no? Appeal and application for probation are mutually exclusive remedies. What do we mean by that? So once one remedy was availed of, no, the other cannot be availed of anymore. No, yun lang yun. What's the exception? Ito, when a judgment of conviction, no, imposing a non-probationable penalty is appealed, no, or reviewed, and such judgment is modified through the imposition of a probationable penalty, the defendant shall be allowed to apply for probation based on the modified decision before such decision becomes final. Of course, pag naging final and executory yan, service of sentence na yan. Diba? Anyway, so, ano context itong exception na to? Sabihin natin, sa trial court, ang imposition, no, ang maximum term of imprisonment niya is 10 years. 10 years of prison mayor. Okay? Tapos, nung inappeal niya, no? Inappeal niya, accused, inappeal niya. Sa court, ang sabi ng Court of Appeals, gawin nating 5 years na lang of prison correctional. So, ibinaba by 1 degree. Tanong, can the offender apply for probation? The answer is yes. Why? Because based on the modified decision, the maximum term of imprisonment imposed did not exceed 6 years. 5 taon lang eh. So, hindi na siya disqualified, making him qualified for probation, to apply for probation. Yun ang context po niyan. Pero as a general rule, tandaan natin, mutually exclusive ang filing of appeal, and application for probation. Please remember itong exception na to. Kung di kayo tatanungin sa criminal law nito, tinatanong po ito sa remedial law. Normally, no? Madalas to. Okay. Okay, so pag maraming defendants, pwedeng yung iba mag-application for probation, yung iba mag-appeal, bahala sila. Okay? Probation may be granted whether the sentence imposes a term of imprisonment or a fine only. So kahit sa fine, pwede ka mag-probation. Hindi ka na magbabayad ng fine. Okay? Disqualified offenders, no? Ito yung pinaka-important dito, no? So, the benefits of this decree, no? PD 968 shall not be extended to those, no? Convicted of any crime against the security of the state, example, treason, espionage, yung mga yan, no? Violation of neutrality, and so on and so forth. Okay, next. Ang important po dito, itong tatlo na to. Hayaan nyo na yung A saka E. Itong BCD important. First is, sentenced to serve a maximum term of imprisonment of more than 6 years. So, pag saktong 6 years, hindi siya disqualified. Next, those who have previously been convicted by final judgment of an offense punished by imprisonment of more than 6 months and 1 day and or a fine of not less than 1,000 pesos. So, nagkaroon ng lag dito. Hindi ito na bago. Dapat na bago ito kasi mataas na ngayon ang fine for light felonies, di ba? Hanggang 40K na. So, anyway, no, wag mo natin itakal yung fine. Di naman ganun ka, ano yan, important as compared to imprisonment. No? Sa imprisonment, 6 months and 1 day. So, before, na-convict na siya for prison correctional in its minimum period. Pag minimum period, di ba, 6 months and 1 day onwards. No? I forgot na kung ano yung division yan, yung exact period. Anyway, 6 months and 1 day yan. No? So, yun. No? Prison correctional, na-convict siya before. Oh. Sinerbisyohan niya yung sentence na yun. No? Hindi siya nag-probation. Talagang 7 months. No? Sabihin natin, nasa bilibid siya. Nakawala siya. Later on, na-convict siya ulit. Prison correctional ulit. No? Tanong, pwede ba siya mag-apply for probation? No. Pwede pa ba siya ma-extend na benefits ng probation? No na. Kasi he was previously convicted by final judgment of an offense punished by imprisonment of more than 6 months and 1 day. No? Prison correctional in its minimum period yan. Okay. So, pasok po 7 years. So, ganun yung magiging itsura nung tanong sa inyo, no? Hindi sasabihin na prison correctional in its minimum period yung first sentence. Sasabihin dyan, 7 years of prison correctional. Oh, okay. Attorney, paano pag ano lang? Slight physical injuries, 20 days lang siya nag-serve nung first time. Pinanagutan niya, no? Nagpunta sa bilangguan, no? Serve din ng sentence, no? After 20 days, nakawala siya. Tapos nagkaroon siya ng second sentence later on, pagkakawala niya, prison correctional. Can he still avail or can he still apply and be extended the benefits of probation? The answer is yes. Kasi wala naman po sa disqualification. Pag ganitong disqualification po pala, pag isa tumama dito, automatic disqualified ka na. So, kailangan sa A to E, walang tatama kahit isa. Walang magiging applicable do sa facts. If nothing applies, now he can be extended the benefits of probation. Pag may isang tumama dyan, pwedeng sa B, pwedeng sa C, pwedeng sa D, pwedeng sa A. No? Hayaan nyo ni E, hindi na kailangan to. No? Isang tumama dyan, automatic disqualified. Ganun po pala no, pag mga disqualification. Makaka-encounter pa kayo ng ganitong mga enumerations later on. Sa local government code, sa katarungang pambarangay, may ganyan din. Pag disqualification, pag pumasok sa isa, disqualified na talaga. Okay? So, titingnan nyo itong BCD lagi. Tingnan nyo, hindi lang sa isa, pag sa isa, hindi na siya pasok doon, sasabihin mo, extended na agad yung privilege of benefits ng probation. No. Tingnan mo yung BCD. No? O, so yun. In my example, pasok ba siya dito? No. Kasi yung second sentence na nag-apply siya for probation, prison correctional lang. So, not more than 6 years. Obviously. Previously convicted ba siya may final judgment of an offense punished by imprisonment of more than 6 months and 1 day? No, hindi din. Kasi nga, yung una niyang crime na nakomit, slight physical lang, 20 days. Hmm. Did he previously avail of the benefits of probation? No din. So, pwede pa siya. Okay? O so ngayon, what if ang ginawa niya, nung slight physical injuries, yung first sentence niya, 20 days, sabi niya, ayoko pong mapunta sa bilangguan, nagpo-probation na lang ako. Okay, sabi ng court, granted. And later on, na-convict siya for prison correctional. Can we say that this person must be extended the benefits of probation? No. Kasi disqualified siya under letter D. Once on probation na siya. Di ba? So, you get the point, no? You get the point. Tingnan nyo yung BCD lagi. Okay na itong period, no? Nilagay ko lang. Juvenile and Justice, okay na ito. Extra info ko lang dito. Just read them. Ang kailangan lang talaga dito sa Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, hindi naman na tinatanong itong mga system of diversion. Ang tinatanong lang talaga dyan, yung privilege mitigating circumstance. No, yun lang. Saka exempting circumstance. No? Exempting privilege mitigating circumstance. Okay. Okay na itong adjusting. Nabanggit ko na 40K na ngayon, di ba? Okay. Extinction of criminal liability na tayo. No? Tandaan nyo dito, may clustering dapat kayong gagawin. No? Yan, magkagrupo. Paris yan. Para maalala nyo yung pito na yan, pag paris-parisin nyo lagi. Ganun, pag mahaba yung listahan, no? Ang suggestion ko sa inyo, pag may mahabang listahan, igrupo nyo yung mga may commonalities. Igrupo nyo yung mga common, no? Yung mga amnesty, absolute pardon. Aba, parang magkaparehas yan. May similarities, one group. Prescription of crime, prescription of penalty, one group. Marriage, iba siya kasi kakaiba, no? Death at saka service of sentence, igrupo nyo. Why? Kasi ibig sabihin sa dalawa na to, tapos ang paghihirap. O, ganun. Okay? O, ganun ang grupo natin. First group, tapos ang paghihirap. See? Amnesty and absolute pardon, forgiveness. Second group. Third group, prescription. Last, marriage. Yung pito, naging apat na lang. Aba, digestible na yan. Kayang-kaya na natin gawin yan. Di ba? O death of convict, no? If yung personal penalties, ibig ko sabihin nito, yung mga imposition of fine to imprisonment. Pag namatay, ala na. Ala na yung personal penalty na yun. As to pecuniary penalties, ibig po sabihin nito yung civil indemnities to. Yung actual moral exemplary damages. Ito pong pecuniary penalties na to will be extinguished only when the death happened before final judgment. Final judgment means final and executory judgment. Okay? So sabihin natin civil yung criminal case, 'di ba? May kaakibat po na ano 'yan, ah civil liability. Criminal liability may kaakibat na civil liability, no? Sabihin natin namatay, pending appeal yung kaso. Ang effect po nun, wala nang criminal liability, wala nang civil liability based on delict, based on crime. Wala na, no? Attorney, paano pag namatay siya after na magkaroon ng final and executory judgment? Aba, wala na criminal liability. Patay na, paano mo ikukulong yan? Paano yung personal liability? Liable pa rin. The estate of the accused of the offender will be liable. No? Pag after final and executory judgment. Pag on appeal, hindi pa po. No? Okay. Service of sentence, you get the point, no? Nakakulong na, nakawala. Okay? Amnesty, ito tayo. Okay, dito, just redestroy your other sources of obligation are not extinguished, whether before or after final judgment. I think hindi pa kita tatanungin dito, no? Kasi ito pang fourth year na siya. Kasi hindi niya pa naman alam yung sa obligations in contract, yung different kinds of obligations. May civil liability based on crime, based on delict. Meron din quasi-delict na tinatawag. Yan yung nasa People versus Layag. No? Kung yung delict, civil liability based on delict na extinguish na dahil sa death. Di ba? Kasi before final judgment, namatay siya. Meron bang habol yung offender? ay yung offended party, meron pa. File siya ng separate civil action based on quasi-delict against the estate. Pero masyado nung complicated muna yun para sa ating mga first year students, no? So, nilagay ko lang dito yan. Just read them through, try to understand. Pero wag na natin masyadong pahirapin pa kasi hindi naman kayo tatanungin dyan as first year students, no? Pag fourth year, I hope alam nyo na to kasi ilang beses nang nababanggit yan. Nabanggit sa criminal law, nabanggit sa remedial law on criminal procedure, nabanggit sa civil law on torts and damages. So, I hope gasgas na dapat sa isip nyo, no? Kayang-kaya nyo na dapat yan. Death of the co-conspirator does not extinguish criminal liability because that is not provided under Article 89. Wala naman eh. Death of convict, death of co-conspirator, wala dyan. Diba? So kahit namatay yung co-conspirator mo, liable ka pa rin. And conspiracy can still be proven despite the death of the co-conspirator. Kaya pagpatunayan, no? Mayroon pa namang witnesses and so on. Okay, amnesty and pardon, no? So, hindi ko na na dito kasi this should be tackled sa Consti 1, no? Amnesty, this is Article 7 of the Constitution, powers ng Executive Department o powers of the President. Ano ang amnesty, ano ang pardon? Diba? Anyway, no? Nilagay ko ba dito? I think nilagay ko dito eh. I did. Ito, tackle natin. Okay? Pardon. Ba't nagkaganon? Bakit lumaktaw na ganon? Anyway, nasira. Okay, okay na yan. Pardon, it's an act of grace by the President alone. Si Gloria Macapagal Arroyo lang ang nagpardon kay ERAP. Okay. Amnesty, yan yung kay Trillanes nung nagkaroon ng mutiny dati. No? Hindi dapat Congress to. Ay, yeah, Congress pala. Congress, sorry. Congress yan, tama. Ang amnesty po, hindi lang po yan act ng President. May approval din dapat, may concurrence yan ng Congress. No? So, dalawang branches of the government yan. Ang pardon, isang branch lang. Okay, nature of the act, no? Private, public, hindi na important dyan. Ito ang mga important, itong as to who grants, as to when, effect. Okay. Yan ang mga important dyan, yung tatlo na yan. No? So, as to when, no? After conviction by final judgment. So, final and executory judgment at saka lang po pwedeng mag-pardon. Sa amnesty, before or after institution of criminal action. Kaya doon sa mutiny na yun, na amnesty na sila, before pa magkaroon ng conviction. Tapos na yung usapan, di ba? Dismiss na yung kaso. As to which crimes? Sa pardon po, generally all. Kahit ano yan, malversation, plunder, murder, and so on. Sa amnesty, political offenses. Normally, like coup d'etat, di ba? Mutiny nga, no? Effect. It looks forward. Ang pardon, ang amnesty, it looks backward. What do we mean by that? Sa pardon nga, under Article 36. Tama ba ako sa article na sinabi ko? Di ba yan, under Article 36, di ba nakasulat nga dyan, a pardon shall in no case exempt the culprit from the payment of the civil indemnity. Bakit? Kasi it looks forward. So the offender is forgiven but it does not remove the fact that he was previously convicted by final judgment. And with that being said, may civil indemnity. Meanwhile, ang amnesty po wala. Kasi it looks backward. It is as if there was no crime committed at all. Nothing criminal was committed. Okay? Okay, sige. Judicial notice, the courts do not take judicial notice because it is a private act. Ito pala kadugtong nito by the president. So, kailangan patunayan, sabihin natin may no? Kailangan patunayan pa sa court na na-pardon itong tao na to. Ang amnesty hindi na. Courts take judicial notice of this kasi this is a public act. Okay? Let's move. Prescription of crimes, prescription of penalties. After we tackle this one, itackle na rin natin yung suspension ng prescription. Tackle na rin natin yung period of prescription, no? Hand in hand na lahat. And then lastly, yung marriage. Sige, ganito muna. Yung marriage muna itackle natin pala. Para mabilis, no? Sa marriage po, in rape, tandaan nyo to in rape, the marriage of the offended woman, normally woman naman na rape, no? Pero under the new law, no? Any person na can be raped and any person can be the rapist. So pwede na po under the new law, yung amendment, no? Yung babae, pwede i-rape ang lalaki. Pwede rin lalaki, i-rape ang babae. Okay. Anyway, dito muna tayo sa traditional mindset, no? Traditional na doctrines, principles. Babae na rape, lalaki ang rapist. Okay. Pagka nagpakasal yung babae dun sa rapist, sabihin natin yung rapist, meron siyang co-conspirators. In case there's marriage, sino ang ma-extinguish ang criminal liability? Under Article 266, paragraph C. Paragraph C. Under 266C, Article 266C, for rape, the marriage of the offended woman to the offender extinguishes the criminal liability of the husband only. The extinguishment of criminal liability does not extend to the other offenders. Kung sino lang pinakasalan, siya lang yung absuelto. Yung iba, liable pa din. But for acts of lasciviousness, seduction, and abduction, sa acts of lasciviousness na lang tayo kasi yun ang medyo alam nyo, no? Hindi nyo pa alam yung seduction, abduction sa mga first year, first sem students. Okay? Acts of lasciviousness, yung mga panghihipo, panghahalik, yung mga yan, no? Marriage extinguishes the criminal liability of the husband along with his co-principals, accomplices, and accessories. So, lahat extinguish po. Pero pag sa rape, yung husband lang. Yung mga kasama sa krimen, liable pa din. Re-election is not a mode of extinguishing criminal liability. Anyways, this, wala naman sa Article 89 yan. No? And this case is more important sa political law. Itong Morales versus Carpio Morales versus Court of Appeals. Sa political law na lang natin itakil yan. Okay, so konti na lang pala, no? Tapos na. Balik tayo sa prescription of crime. Okay, so prescription of crime tayo. No? Ang prescription of crime po, nasa prosecution stage pa lang yan. Pendency of case, dyan pa lang yan, no? Pag prescription of penalties, may imposition of penalty, may imposition of sentence, no? So tapos na, meron ng final and executory judgment. Yun po ang pagkakaiba niyan essentially. Itong prescription of crime, from the time na kinumit yung crime, ang period nito, hanggang sa tumatakbo na yung kaso. Okay? Sige. When does the period of prescription of crime, no? The period of prescription of continuing crime, no? Ito pala isang topic. So, the period of prescription of a crime, no? When does it commence, no? Nakalagay po dyan sa wait. Okay, so nilagay ko muna sa baba. Dito natin kunin, no? Ang commencement po ng prescription of crime is the discovery of the commission of the crime. Discovery. Okay? Not necessarily commission but discovery. No? What about prescription of penalty? Once service of sentence was evaded, tumakas, no? Naging at large. Kaya nga sabi ko sa iyo sentence side. Sabi ko sa inyo sentence side na yung prescription of penalty. Next, when is prescription of crime interrupted? Running of the period of prescription of crime interrupted. Dalawa, no? Filing of complaint or information at saka absence from the Philippines of the offender. Either way, interrupted na yan. Na-discover yung crime, na-file agad yung kaso, interrupted na agad. Or, na-discover yung crime, wala pang na-file na kaso, pero lumipad, umalis sa Pilipinas yung offender, interrupted na yan. Okay? What about prescription of penalty? 4. Ulitin ko, tumatakbo po ang prescription of penalty pag tumakas na sa service of sentence yung offender. So when will it be interrupted? once the offender gives himself up. So sumurrender siya or nahuli, captured, or nagpunta siya sa isang foreign country with no extradition treaty with the Philippines, or he commits another crime before the expiration of the prescriptive period. Madali na po yung gives himself up at saka captured. Madali na yun. Tumakas siya, tumakbo ang prescription of penalty. No? So tatakbo yan pag matagal siya nakapagtago, basically one sentence na, no? Sentence, no? Prescription of penalty. Hindi na rin siya pwede ikulong later on. Once prescription of penalty, once the period of prescription of penalty has been uh, ano ba tawag doon? Has been consumed, something like that. Di pala consumed, no? Once the has expired. Okay? Yun. Now, let's go to the third at saka fourth one, no? Actually, gusto kong i-highlight yung third. The offender goes to a foreign country with no extradition treaty. Why? Kasi po, ang prescription of penalty, kaya po yan may ganyan. Kasi ang theory ng legislation, no, the life of the offender outside of jail is much harder than his life inside the jail. Kasi nakalabas nga siya ng selda, nakalabas siya ng bilibid, nagtatago naman siya lagi. 'Di ba? Hindi siya pwedeng makita ng pulis. So, it's as if restricted pa rin ang freedom niya, ang liberty niya. Kaya po may prescription of penalty. O ngayon, ba't po may interrupt yung prescription of penalty pag nagpunta siya sa isang foreign country with no extradition treaty? Kasi po, pag pumunta siya sa ibang country with no extradition treaty, there's no way that the offender will be returned to the Philippines, will be repatriated, hindi pala repatriated, will be extradited to the Philippines. Pag repatriated, pag ano kailangan ng disaster, iuwi. Yung pala yung repatriation. Extradition to. There's no way that this person can be extradited, can be returned to the Philippines kasi wala namang agreement yung foreign country at saka Philippines na yung mga kriminal sa Pilipinas na pumunta ng ibang bansa doon sa bansa na yun, pwedeng mag-request ang Philippines na ibalik yon sa Pilipinas. Wala. So, ibig po sabihin nun, anong example niyan? Yung mga United Arab Emirates. Walang extradition treaty with the Philippines. So, pag yung Pinoy, no, yung offender na Pinoy, nasa Pilipinas, nalipad, nakapunta ng Dubai, sabihin natin, walang extradition treaty, his liberty is definitely not restrained there. Walang restraint ng liberty. He is treated as a free man there kasi hindi naman siya kahit naman alam ng Pilipino, alam ng Philippine government na andun siya nagtatago o doon siya nabubuhay, hindi naman siya pwedeng maibalik sa Philippines eh. That's why i-interrupt po yung prescription of penalty kasi yung purpose ng prescription of penalty wala pag nagpunta siya sa foreign country with no extradition treaty with the Philippines. Kasi hindi naman siya magtatago doon eh. He can live as a free man. So, interrupted po. Lastly, commits another crime before the expiration. Self-explanatory. Okay, sana po naintindihan natin yun. No? In either case, whether prescription of crime or prescription of penalty, beneficial yan sa offender. Beneficial yan. Kasi once prescription has set in, no? Once the prescriptive period has expired, no more criminal liability. Okay. Sa prescription of crime, when will it run again? Once the proceedings were terminated without the accused being convicted or acquitted. Ang nakalagay po dito, alam to ng mga fourth year students, no, the information was quashed. Pero ibig lang natin sabihin dito, ang example, na-dismiss yung kaso because of technical grounds, na mali ng court na finailan. Dismissed yung kaso. O, wala pang kasong na ipa-file ulit. Yung intervening, yung after the day ng dismissal na yun, o once the judgment of dismissal became final and executory, automatic yun, tatakbo na ulit yung prescription of crime. Tatakbo na siya ulit. So, kailan siya mag-isimula? Discovery of the commission of the crime. Kailan siya mag-i-interrupt? Na i-file yung kaso. Kailan siya mag-run ulit? So, kailan ulit magko-commence? No? When will it commence again? Once the criminal case is dismissed or terminated without the accused being convicted or acquitted. Example is dismissal based on technical grounds. Procedural grounds. Okay? Next is okay na to. Proceedings were unjustifiably stopped for any reason not imputable to him. Okay na yan. Sa prescription of crime, ang basis po natin, penalty prescribed by law. Why prescribed? Kasi wala pa namang judgment. Tumatakbo pa yung kaso. Okay? So, ang titingnan po natin, pag tinignan mo murder, ano ba yung penalty prescribed by law for murder? Reclusion perpetua. Ganun. Sa prescription of penalty, ang titingnan mo, penalty actually imposed. Why? May sentence ni. Nag-evade nga ng service of sentence, di ba? Okay? So, ang titingnan nyo dyan, the penalty actually imposed. So, kahit na murder po yung, as I have tackled sa previous video, no? Kahit na murder yung crime committed yan, hindi naman all the time reclusion perpetua yan. Kasi paano pag may privilege mitigating circumstance, no? Minority na privilege mitigating circumstance at saka sabihin natin too aggravating, no? Mitigating. O di yung reclusion perpetua, naging prison mayor na lang. Yun ang magiging basis natin. Iba na. Prison mayor, hindi na po reclusion perpetua. By the way, each yung mga crime na ganyan, yung reclusion perpetua, temporal, prison mayor, correctional, and so on, may kaakibat po yan na prescriptive period. Depende kung ano yung applicable, kung prescription of crime or prescription of penalty. Which leads us to the next point. Tingnan natin ngayon yung period of prescription for both, no? Sa prescription of crime, 20 years, pag reclusion perpetua at saka reclusion temporal. Sa prescription of penalty, 20 years, reclusion perpetua lang. So, reclusion temporal, hindi po 20 years sa prescription of penalty. I suggest, aralin nyo itong mabuti, no? I mean, this is just memory work, no? Pag numbers talagang ganyan, it's just pure memory work. Kaya maganda, padaliin natin ganito, make a table, no? Tingnan nyo na lang, 15 years po ang RT sa prescription of penalty, pero sa prescription of crime, RT is 20 years. 15 years ang prison mayor either way, and so on and so forth. No? Libel, oral defamation, slander by deed. Last na to. No? For libel, sa prescription of crime, 1 year. For oral defamation or slander by deed, slander, in short, 6 months. Pero sa prescription of penalty, for libel, oral defamation, slander by deed, the prescription of penalty is either 10 years or 5 years depending on the final sentence. Kasi dito po papasok yan. Anyway, di nyo pa alam yan kung first year kayo, ang prescribed penal, ang pwede kasi maging penalty imposed sa mga libel na yan, either arresto mayor or prison correctional eh. Ganun yung degrees hanggang prison correctional. So depende, no? Depende kung ano magiging hatol ng court. Pero pwede maging 10 years, pwede maging 5 years. Hindi katulad sa prescription of crime, may set period for them. Set periods for them. Okay? Ayan. Anyway, just read the other things here, no? Na-explain ko naman na siya kahit pa paano. Okay, so in prescription of crime, error in the filing of information is immaterial. Kahit kung namali ng final na court, interrupted pa din. Okay? Pero once na-dismiss yun, dahil nga mali yung na-file na court, tatakbo ulit. That's the point. It will commence again because the case was terminated without the accused being convicted or acquitted. Okay. Ito medyo technical na ito. Just redestroy yun sa mga false testimony. This is, kung crime 1 pa lang ang inaaral nyo, hindi siguro kayo tatanungin dito. Ito mga ganitong tanong, tatanong to sa mga criminal law review na. No? Bar exam. Interplane of everything. Prescription of penalty. Ayan, natakal natin. Evasion of service of sentence. No? Ayan. Some countries without extradition treaty with the Philippines, UAE, Japan, Malaysia. No? Kakaiba nga yung Malaysia. No? Walang, by the way, kung nanonood kayo ng balita, sino pumunta ng Japan? Na scammer. There's a reason ba't sa Japan nagpunta. Okay. Kilala nyo na yan kung sino. No? Okay. Let's move to partial extinguishment of criminal liability, conditional pardon, commutation of sentence, at saka good conduct allowances o good conduct time allowances, no? Dito lang tayo sa good conduct. Ito kasing commutation of sentence, basically, binaba lang yung sentence, pero mag-sentence, mayroon pa ring sentensya. Sino nagbababa? Presidente din. Conditional pardon, president din. Pero yung pardon niya, hindi absolute. With conditions. No? At kailangan yung gampanan ng mga kondisyon na to habang nasa labasan ng kulungan. Okay. So, sa GCTA law tayo, no? Ito lang tatandaan sa GCTA law. Who are disqualified to avail the benefits of good conduct time allowance? Tandaan nyo tong apat na to. Recidivist, habitual delinquent, escapee, and persons charged with heinous crimes. Saan kayo normally tatanungin dito? Sa persons charged with heinous crimes. Kasi yan yung naging hot issue before, no? Yung ano, yung I forgot the name, yung mayor dati tapos na-convict siya for murder or something. Forgot the name of the guy. Pero initially, isinali siya dun sa good conduct time allowances. Pero dapat hindi. Dapat hindi kasi ang charge niya at na-convict siya sa isang heinous crime. So what are heinous crimes, no? Nalagay ko ba rito to? I did, no? Treason, piracy, qualified bribery, plunder, parricide, murder, yan, infanticide, rape, kidnapping, robbery with violence against or intimidation of persons, carnapping, destructive arson, importation, blah, 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 drugs, no? And so on and so forth. May 14 here, no? RA 7659. Yan po yung mga heinous crimes, no? So just memorize this one. Homicide is not a heinous crime. Theft is not a heinous crime. Estafa is not a heinous crime, no? Hindi po, no? Even no? Physical injuries, hindi siya heinous crime. No? Just memorize this one. Okay? Community Service Act, no? Hindi ko pa rito possible bar question. Natanong po siya, at I forgot kung natanong siya nung crime 1. Crime 1 nung Criminal Law 2023 bar. Pero baka matanong siya sa 2024 bar kasi bagong law. No? Ito pong Community Service Act, iba ito sa probation. So hand in hand, no? Kung dalawa ang count, sabihin natin, dalawang aresto mayor yung penalty. Pwedeng sa isa mag-probation ka, sa isa mag-community service ka. The court in its discretion, no, in lieu of service in jail, required that the penalties of arresto menor and arresto mayor may be served by the defendant by rendering community service. No? Tandaan 'yan. So iba po yung probation, iba yung community service. So kung dalawa ulit yung crimes committed at dalawa arresto mayor lang, probation mo pareho. Probation may isa, community service may isa. Walang kulong. Okay? I need to take note. Eto, the privilege of rendering community service shall be availed only once. So para po siyang probation. Probation can only be availed once. Once it is previously availed, disqualified na po yung offender dun sa next crime na i-commit niya, di ba? Letter D. Same thing po sa community service. Pag nag-community service na once, hindi na pwedeng mag-community service ulit. Okay? Sige. Nilay ko pa kay PIRR pero hindi na ito need, no? Yan lang kailangan dito, yung penalty to be imposed. No? By the way, ito po, discretion to no ano. Kailangan mag-apply yung offender ng community service. Pag hindi siya nag-apply, mag-serve talaga siya, makukulong talaga siya for 2 months and so on. 10 days. Ganyan. Okay? I-apply niya dapat to. Ayan. It shall be the court's duty to inform the accused of and announce in open court his options. O, di ba? File an appeal, apply for probation, apply that the penalty be served by rendering community service. So, this ano po yan? Dapat i-apply ng ating accused, ng ating offender. Kung hindi, service of sentence yan, kulong. no? So parang probation lang din. Pwede rin naman siya mag-appeal, no? Okay? Ito pa isa, no? It shall further be explained to the accused that if he chooses to appeal the conviction, such resort thereto bars any application for community service or probation. As we have tackled earlier, yung sa probation, merong exemption. That is if the judgment of the trial court was non-probationable, but on appeal, di ba? The judgment the judgment was modified by the appellate court and made it probationable, made the penalty probationable. In such case, the offender can apply for probation on the basis of the modified decision. Yun yung exception sa probation. Pero as a general, di ba sa probation, mutually exclusive po ang appeal at saka application for probation. Sa community service naman po, ganun din, mutually exclusive din. Pag nag-appeal, hindi ka na pwede mag-community service. Pag nag-community service, hindi ka pwede mag-appeal. Malamang inamin mo na eh, di ba? Okay. The application must be filed within the period to perfect the appeal. So, 15 days, no? 15 days. Okay? E paano pag hindi nag-appeal, hindi nag-probation, hindi nag-community service, apply? Hindi kukulong. Ganun kasimple. No? Yun ang fourth option. Okay? Sige. No? Let's move to civil liability in criminal cases. No? So, last 2 pages na lang tayo. Tapos na tayo for criminal law. No? Civil liability in criminal cases. No? Damages when death results. Actual, moral, exemplary. No? Kanino may gagrant yung moral damages? No? Basic na lang tayo. Konting brief background sa torts. Moral damages po, dun sa mga naiwang mahal sa buhay. Sa mga heirs. Hindi po pwedeng igagrant ng moral damages dun sa patay. Wala naman ng emotion sa patay. Di ba? So, kung magagrant ng moral damages in favor of the heirs. Kasi yung heirs ang nagkaroon ng nagkaroon ng injury. Emotional injury, mental injury, moral injury. Yung heirs. Okay? Actual or compensatory damages to the extent, okay. Meron pang loss of earning capacity dito. It's too technical na for criminal law. No? Exemplary damages in case of bad faith. Pag murder homicide yan, may bad faith talaga. Diba? Ayan pala, when the crime was committed with one or more aggravating circumstance. Okay, so pag homicide lang per se, walang exemplary. Okay? And so on. Anyway, this is too technical na hindi na ito itatanong sa inyo. This is more of a civil law topic. No? Ito yung binabanggit ko kanina, civil liability in criminal cases is different from civil liability arising from other sources of obligation. So, halimbawa, nag-file lang criminal case. Sa criminal case, may civil, civil action din, no? Based on delict, no? Civil action based on delict. Tapos, after no, nag-file ulit yung complainant ng civil action naman, separate, based on quasi-delict. Is that forum shopping? The answer is no. Because civil liability in criminal cases is different from civil liability arising from other sources of obligation. Pwede silang i-file lang sabay. We do not penalize the complainant for filing 2 actions kasi iba po yung source of obligation, sources of obligation. Malalaman niyo yan sa oblicon, no? Such as those provided under Articles 32, 33, 34, 21, 76 of the Civil Code, Section 3, Rule 111 of the Rules of Court. They will proceed independently. Tapos yung criminal case, alam naman nating proof beyond reasonable doubt yan. Yung civil case, based on quasi-delict, preponderance of evidence lang. What does preponderance of evidence mean? It means greater weight of evidence. So pag yung ebidensya nung plaintiff was matimbang sa defendant, mag-award ka ng damages. Unlike po sa proof beyond reasonable doubt, hindi pwedeng matimbang lang yung ebidensya ng prosecution compared sa defendant para ma-convict. Once there's doubt, you must acquit. Okay? So, kailangan may moral certainty that the person is guilty of the crime charged. Okay. The civil liability, anyway, ex delicto from violation, for violation of the bouncing checks law, cannot be reserved or filed in a separate case. Civil liability ex delicto shall be instituted with the criminal action. Kasi malalaman nyo sa criminal procedure na ang civil action ex delicto or yung civil action based on delict, pwede siyang i-reserve. Ano? Ibig sabihin, hindi tiyo, parang in practice din naman nangyayari to. Pero ang essentially, ibig sabihin ng i-reserve, hindi mo i-hear yung civil liability based on delict, based on crime, do sa criminal case. Ang gusto nung private offended party, siya mismo magpa-file ng separate case. Pwede niyang gawin yun. Yun ang general rule, pwede. Ang exception is, pag BP bail bilang 22 or bouncing check yan, nagpatalbog ng cheque, yan, instituted lagi. Hindi pwedeng ihihiwalay mo. Again and again, iba po ulit yung civil liability based on quasi-delict, based on other sources of obligations. Brief background na lang to. Iba yun. Yun talaga pwede mong i-file. Wala tayong pakialam sa mga civil liability based on crime, criminal action. We do not care. Independent yun. Okay. So, pwede magkaroon ng criminal action, separate civil action based on crime, separate civil action based on quasi-delict. Pwede tatlo. How can that happen? I-reserve mo doon sa criminal action na magpa-file ka ng civil liability, civil case based on crime o based on delict. Tapos mag-file ka pa ng quasi-delict na case. Tatlo. Pero hindi yan pwede, ulitin ko, pag bouncing checks law. Dalawa lang at most. Okay? Extinction of penal action does not carry with it extinction of civil liability. In this case, reasonable doubt, the court declares that the liability of the accused is only civil. Halimbawa, umutang, hindi nagbayad. Ang sabi ng court, hindi po estapa yan. Non-imprisonment for debt. Pero may utang. Oh, the court declares that the liability of the accused is only civil. So, merong civil liability. Walang criminal liability kasi wala namang estafa. The civil liability of the accused does not arise from crime which the accused is acquitted. In other words, the civil liability arises from other sources of obligation. So, meron pa rin civil liability pag based on quasi-delict yung ifa-file na separate civil action. Okay. Itong sa subsidiary liability, ito lang ang gusto kong malaman nyo dito. Pag subsidiary liability, ang laging natatanong dito, wag na tong innkeepers, no? Ang laging natatanong dito, employers. No? Driver ng truck, nakabunggo ng tao, reckless imprudence, patay yung tao. So, homicide through reckless imprudence ang crime. Siyempre, may damages yan. Okay. Sabihin natin, yung driver ng truck, walang pambayad. 100,000 plus 200,000, mga ganyan. 100,000 na lang yung kailangang ibayad. Yung judgment po, yung judgment sa kaso, ang sinabi lang dun sa dispositive portion yung wherefore, ang sinabi lang dun yung driver ang liable to pay the 100,000 pesos na damages. Wala pong binanggit na pangalan ng employer. Walang binanggit. Tanong, attorney, may liability ba yung employer? Hindi binanggit. Ito yun, dito ako sa subsidiary liability of other persons. No? Employer siya, no? Ang employee, yung driver. Napatay ng driver yung employees. No? Napatay niya yung tao. Naglalakad sa kalsada. No? Reckless imprudence. Ito po, no? In the dispositive portion of the decision, the trial court does not have to expressly pronounce the subsidiary liability of the employer. Why? As the term implies, it's just subsidiary in nature, secondary. Hindi na kailangang sabihin kasi the provisions of the RPC on subsidiary penalty are deemed written into the judgments. Ando na 'yun, no? Deemed included na, no? So parang isipin natin ulit ang subsidiary imprisonment, that's a principal penalty. No? Principal. So, dahil principal yan, kailangan sabihin mo, pag di mo sinabi, walang subsidiary imprisonment. Diba? O itong, ano naman, subsidiary liability, civil liability ng employer, hindi na rin kailangang sabihin. Okay? Okay, no? So, tandaan niyo yan. Ulitin natin, subsidiary imprisonment. Kailangan sabihin kasi that's a principal penalty. Okay? Dapat hindi, the provisions, dapat hindi penalty to. Subsidiary liability dapat. Kasi liability, civil liability to, no? O ngayon, yung accessory penalties, di ba? Yung mga civil interdiction, disqualification, yung mga yan, hindi na sila kailangan sabihin sa dispositive portion kasi they are deemed included in the principal penalties. What about subsidiary liability ng employer? Hindi na rin kailangan kasi they are deemed written into the judgments in the cases to which they are applicable. Okay? So ano li kailangan mo sabihin sa dispositive portion? Yung person that is principally liable. So yung employee. Oh, okay? Yung liability ng employer, di na. Okay? Alvarez versus Court of Appeal sa Yusal versus Adil, no? So ano ngayon ang magiging what's the remedy for the employer ngayon? Employer, sumali ka na doon sa criminal case. Di ba? Depensahan mo ni empleyado mo. The employer has the right to take part in the defense of his employee. It is true that an employer is not a party to the criminal case instituted against his employee. No? But he has subsidiary liability imposed upon him by law. Wala tayong magagawa. Sinabi po ng Revised Penal Code. Thus, it is his concern to see to it that his interest be protected in the criminal case by taking participation in the defense of his employee. He cannot leave the employee to his own fate because the employee's failure. Mas maganda yan. I-open close natin ganun. Yan. Ay, the employee's failure is also his. Ayan. Okay. I think that's about it, no, for criminal law. Read na lang yung iba dito, no. Pero kung matatanong kayo sa subsidiary liability, dito lagi. Doon lagi, dito sa itong area na to. Diyan lagi lumalabas ang tanong dyan, dito. Sa last part, no. Yung iba, just read them, no. Sana po, marami tayong naintindihan natin yung criminal law, no, kahit papaano, no. We're able to grasp the difficult topics, especially yung articles 1 to 20, yung una natin mga videos, kasi doon po lumalabas ang tanong, including po yung complex crime na napakahirap naman talaga, no? At saka yung indeterminate sentence law. Yung tatlo lang po na yan ang pinaglalabasan lagi ng mga tanong, no? Articles 1 to 20, kasali na rin yung generality, saka prospectivity, Article 48, at saka indeterminate sentence law. If you can nail those three, okay ka na sa criminal law 1. Dagdagan mo na ng konti pang information here and there, like yung Community Service Act. Pero for the most part, papasa ka na dun. No? Thank you guys, no, for listening to me, no. Medyo mahaba yung mga naging videos natin. See you again sa next subject natin, no.